Hi, I'm Ricki Moscow, one of the founders of Why Worry World, and this is Storytime with Ricki. As I share my personal life stories, I invite you to listen for what's important to you and hope that you hear something that you can apply to your life so you can start worrying less and enjoying life more. Were you ever on a path when all of a sudden you needed to change direction? This is a great question. You see, many years ago, I was planning a party for my son. It was all set. We had everything planned. The only thing was, when we booked the party, the hotel was under construction. We were told, don't worry, the construction would be done by New Year's, and our party was not until the middle of February. There is nothing to worry about. So, 8 weeks before the party, we sent out the invitations. People started to RSVP, and we were so happy. It's going to be a fabulous party. It never occurred to me to check in with the venue. After all, they said there was nothing to worry about. So, why worry? Well, 3 weeks before the party, I get a call from the catering manager. Start worrying. They will not have the venue ready for our event. What? I shouted. My invitations have already gone out and we're already getting RSVPs. The place apologized. There was nothing they could do. We were not the only party that was inconvenienced. They already had to cancel 2 or 3 events. I told the manager I really did not care about the other events. I could only care and be worried about my event. And now I needed to get moving. After calming down, I called the manager back. I told him it wasn't enough to release our deposit. He would have to help me find another location to hold the party. The manager was very sympathetic to my needs, and he suggested a few locations. Of course, since it was only 3 weeks away, most of the facilities were already taken. However, after several calls and a lot of crying, the Marriott was available. I told them what I wanted, and they told me no problem. They could accommodate us. I was very relieved. However, there was still so much to do. Now that I had a new location, I needed to create a list of what there was to do. First, I needed to let the guests know where they would now be coming for the party. I needed to make new invitations. And I realized I had not yet sent out the information for the party that was going to happen the next day for our out-of-town guests, and I would need to get this information to them as well. Now I could mail them both together. I always look for the upside. Being that this location was a totally different setup from the first, I also had to meet the catering director. We would have to figure out the flow of the party, the food, the dance floor, the dessert, and the sleeping arrangements for my out-of-town guests. A lot to do. I kept speaking to people, just trying to move things along. Once I created the new invitations, I had to print them, label them, and mail them out. I thought, how can I do all of this? I know. I will ask my friends to help me. On the Saturday following the booking of the new location and the printing of the new invitations, I asked my 3 friends to come on over. They helped me print, cut, and label the envelopes, and we got the invitations in the mail. Next, I contacted the new venue and asked the manager to support me in contacting my guests that needed rooms. They were so helpful. No problem, they said. And another thing was taken off my plate. In looking at everything that had to be done, I made a list and enrolled people to help me. I knew that I could not get it done by myself. By the end of the first week, the invitations were done and mailed out. The rooms were secured and rebooked, and the new menu was complete. We were well on our way to having a party at our new venue. Fast forward 3 weeks later, and the event went off without a hitch. I reached out to those that supported me in getting this done to thank them. You see, in changing directions, one thing I know for sure was this was a job for more than one person. Life is too short to let our worries limit our potential for experiencing joy and longevity. I hope you heard something that you can apply so you can start worrying less and enjoying life more. Were you ever on a path when all of a sudden you needed to change direction? Tell us about it.